All right, well, hi everyone. Um, just taking it out for a bit of a quick ride. I was wondering if I should take out this one today. But I changed my mind. I need to take out the Honda because this week I just went in just to get the oil change, which Honda's doing for free at the moment for the next little while because the bike is new. And while I was at Honda, I wanted them to do something, and that is to adjust the monoshock here in the back. I always felt it was slightly soft, and I wanted them to stiffen it up. But when I rode it back from Honda, which is not that far, it's only about 10 minutes away, I really didn't have much of a feeling. So I'm going to take it out for a bit. Haven't decided which way I'm going to go um, to get to the cafe because I was just heard that there's a lot of traffic on the way that I normally go. So maybe at the last minute I'll make a change. Anyway, when I get there, I'll tell you what it's like, and then I want to talk about something which I know that a lot of people might get upset at hearing, but I think it should be said. Anyway, let's get going. I just have to turn off all the lights in my parking, and then we can run off. Anyways, I mentioned a moment ago I had the mono shock in the back stiffened up a bit. Um, didn't really. Well, I noticed a bit of a difference. The problem was, as you can probably see, there was a fair amount of traffic. This is my pet peeve with Google Maps. Um, I selected a road where it showed green and tried to avoid all the roads that had red. Well, the green also had traffic. Didn't really update that much. I mean, it's kind of yeah. I mean, it's the thing that I don't know if it's ever happened to anybody else, but occasionally, I mean, like last weekend when I was riding through the mountains, at one point I was following Google Maps because I wasn't quite sure of the road that the way I was supposed to go, and at one point it said turn left, turn right, turn left, go north, go south, and I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a second. If I know what north is, I would go in that direction. I didn't know what north is. Just tell me to turn left. And don't just 5 seconds later tell me to turn right where you cannot turn right. And I had to reset the whole thing. And anyway, um, I'm testing out a new microphone right now, so I'm not quite sure how it sounds. We'll find out. Maybe it'll sound better. But actually, there was something that I mentioned at the beginning that I wanted to talk about, which is a bit controversial. I don't think it's controversial, but I know some people will say that it is. Now, there's something that I'm not a real fan of, and that is reviews. It could be car, it could be motorcycle, it could be any sort of product. Because usually when there's a review, you have to ask yourself, well, did the person buy it or did they get it from a company? Now, there's a number of motorcycle channels out there and they review motorcycles and motorcycles that they get from dealers, which is totally fine. But then I'm always wondering, are they really being honest? Because when it comes time to talk, let's say, about the things that they don't like about a particular bike or a particular car, they will, there's a truck, another one, you probably hear it. Yeah, stop the beeping. You kind of have to wonder if they're really being honest, because if there's something that they don't like, they say, well, this could be improved. Instead of saying, when the cameras turn off, this is absolutely crap. And I know this for a fact, um, because many, many years ago, when I was working at Radio Netherlands, the program that I was working on, we would review different receivers, either from Sony, Panasonic, Sanchen, Hitachi, and a number of other different manufacturers. And very often, the manufacturer would even contact and say, oh, we have a new receiver coming out for 1994 or 1995. Could you review it on Media Network? And we would always say no. The reason we would always say no, because we knew for a fact that if we accepted this free product to review, the manufacturer, either it being Sony, Sangen, or Panasonic, or whoever it was, would always say, oh, what are you going to say about it? Oh, we don't know yet. And we always felt that we couldn't be completely honest. So what we would do is actually we'd get together with a producer saying, what receivers are we going to review this year? And we'd actually just go out and buy them. They were ours. We can say what we wanted. Now, I kind of understand that if somebody's reviewing motorcycles and they get them from a dealer, they may not say all the bad things because they don't want to say something bad. So the reviewer will say, oh, you gave a bad review before on this motorcycle. I'm not going to lend you another one. The other thing about reviewers that I'm not a fan of is, let's say they go and they pick up a bike from a dealer or a manufacturer and they have it for one day. I'm sorry, you cannot review a bike or even a car or anything in one day. You need it at least for a month to really give an accurate review. Now, I understand that sometimes you cannot always get um, a bike for that period of time. I can give you a good example. There's a number of, let's say, Royal Enfield reviewers. And I say Royal Enfield reviewers because they only review Royal Enfield bikes. And they get them from either a Royal Enfield shop or Royal Enfield themselves, and they have them for a day, and they rave about how great the bike is. Well, first of all, the bike has around maybe 100 kilometers on it or 200 kilometers on it. Yes, it's going to be good. But they never review anything, let's say, that has a lot more distance on it when all the problems started to arise. So I'm like, really? Of course you're going to rave about it. It's brand new. It's off the factory. Even Royal Enfield, which is a crappy company that make crappy quality products, is not going to be that bad when it comes off the production line. But for some strange reason, they always rave about it. You can't give an accurate review. Now, there are some guys out there that have YouTube channels that I actually like because they're brutally, brutally honest. They don't take advertising. So, because my background is radio and public radio, we did not take advertising at all and could not take any free products, which I think adds to the credibility. But as soon as you take free products or somebody lends you something, a company or a shop to review, as far as I'm concerned, the credibility goes out the window because you have to remember, if I'm a shop and I lend you a bike, a Triumph, for example, and you review the bike for a week or a few days or one day, if you say anything bad about it, I'm going to go, well, I'm not going to pass you another bike because you said bad things the last time about Triumph, etc., etc., etc. So the reviewers that I trust are reviewers that, for example, will contact somebody and say, look, I heard you have a Triumph. I want to borrow it for a bit and review about it. And the person says, okay, sure, go ahead. I trust those reviews more than those who are connected with dealers or even take advertising. And like I said, as soon as I see advertising on a channel, for me, that loses all types of credibility. A lot of the channels that I've come across, there's sort of a lack of honesty. So if a bike is crap, say it's crap. If a company offers crap service, say it offers crap service. Royal Enfield, crap, 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 crap. I know the Royal Enfield fanboys out there are going to say, oh, Royal Enfield's a great bike, etc., etc. No, it isn't. I'm sorry, it just isn't. It just isn't. Now, every company has their duds. Honda also has their duds. But at least with Honda, I remember one bike I had from them for a while, and it just was bad. I don't remember. I want to talk about it because I will talk about it in the future. Um, it was just bad, and Honda was like, "Oh, we're so sorry to hear that. What is it that you thought was bad?" And I said, "Well," and I just went into it. But others are so petty, like Royal Enfield is one of them. Harley Davidson, I know, not corporate, but Harley Davidson dealerships, and again, not all, but there are some that have even banned reviewers because they gave them a bad review of a Harley Davidson bike. Well, is a review only supposed to be, positive? Of course not. It has to be negative sometimes if it is bad. The same like when you're going online and you want to buy some gadgets for your bike. It could be Amazon, it could be any website that sells things. Always take the reviews and the star ratings with a grain of salt. Because to fake these kind of things is really, really easy. It isn't rocket science. Anybody can do it. So, that is my little pet peeve on reviews and reviewers. Not all. There's some out there who I actually really like. But as soon as any of them will start saying, "Oh, I got this bike from the dealer for the past week and I've been riding it around. You got it from a dealer." I raise questions if they're going to be really that honest, because if they give a bad review, they might not get another one. Sadly, that's what it's come to. Anyway, I'm going to finish off this coffee. I'm going to head somewhere else and continue the day. I'm not going to say like, comment, and subscribe now, because hopefully I'll find a better road where I can test and see how it feels after they tightened up the monoshock. But I'll finish off my coffee and we'll get going, and we'll see where we end up next. Okay, I was able to give it a little bit of a test after I had the monoshock strengthened on the bike, which you can see behind me right here. Actually, it makes much more of a difference, because before the problem I felt was that when I was riding through the mountains doing any type of speed, it felt a little soft. Now that it's stiffer, it still feels comfortable, just normal driving, but in the mountains, doing twisty turns, it's a lot more comfortable. So yeah, if you're planning to get one of these Honda Black Editions, everything of course is set at the factory. Just adjust it, because it will make a big difference. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you soon.